One of the most important skills and mindsets, it's a 2-for-1 here, that will help you hit the success and the revenue numbers you want in business is not something that most people think about. Most of the time when we think about how to grow our revenue, how to make more money in business, we think it's all strategy based, all doing more, right? More hustle, more work, more offers, more pricing options, more payment plans, yada, yada. But one of the hands down single most important skill sets and mindset approaches, hey Artie, that you can have to business is learning how to have a real live human to human conversation. That's right, it's relationship building. And this is something that I personally believe is highly lacking in the online digital space right now, is the ability to actually hold a genuine conversation. I had a call with a client of mine this morning, and she is working with this new company looking to see how exactly her consultancy can fit into their business and really help them to grow their revenue in massive dollars. It's pretty early in that relationship building. And she asked me, how do I convey the importance of what I do? How do I convey the value in it before I go out and tell them, like, this is how much money it would be a month? How do I pitch them effectively is what she was asking me. And when I started to tell her how to communicate and different things that you can do, she kind of had a weird look on her face. And she's like, oh, so it's really just having a conversation. There's no like fancy phrasing I have to use or fancy funnel, or don't have to have all of this stuff. No, not at all. And that's not to say that all of that other stuff, the fanciness, is not necessary. There's an element that you can use. But to really hit your revenue numbers, to grow your business, and to have the impact that you want through your business and in life, you need to be able to speak to people. Whether that is in person, whether that is through virtual networking events, or that's literally just in the way that you type up an Instagram or a Facebook post caption, you have to understand that you're a human being speaking to another human being. One of the things, and this, I'm not going to go long into this because I think this is something that's relatively well known, is most people, or a lot of people, think that once you get online, they're just numbers, right? Oh, there are 50,000 followers. There are only 5 followers. We start to forget that those numbers, those email subscribers, those Instagram or Facebook followers are actual real live human beings. And one of the things that will absolutely 100% block you from making more money in business is forgetting that they are human beings, is looking at it at just a transactional level of how can I pitch this in a way that gets that person or that lead to actually sign up and pay with me? How do I put the perfect call to action together that makes that person hit buy? That takes it out of human to human interaction, takes it out of that relationship building, and takes it into a purely transactional, not great feeling win-win place. If you were looking at your business purely as, I've got to get as many people in the door as possible so I can make as much money as possible so that I can keep doing the thing, that is one day going to bite you real hard in the ass. Hands down, it's going to bite you in the ass. So I said at the very beginning that this is both a skill set and a mindset. So when we think about having conversations, about truly understanding how to speak to one another as human beings, how to actually talk about our services, talk about our offers as humans, not just here's a bullet pointed list of the features and the benefits and the number of calls and the number of sessions and the all the nonsense that you have in your stuff. Awesome nonsense, but nonsense. It's both a skill set that you can practice, which is something really important I'll talk about in a second, and a mindset approach or perspective to business. I'm going to talk about the mindset piece, and then I'm going to talk about the skill set. So from a mindset piece, when you remember and go into every single part of your business, every activity that you take, remembering on the other side of this, whether it's a podcast episode, an email that you're writing, an Instagram post, a live, whatever it is, you are communicating with another human being. Which means if you are using AI, go for it, but make it sound like a human being. Make it sound like you. We know now very quickly what is AI generated and hasn't been looked at as a human being and what's just garbage. So just a little note for you. But go into every single business activity with the mindset of I am speaking to a person. And this is really helpful because when you write copy, whether that's for a landing page, an email, a social media post, etc., you can then run it through this filter in your head of, is this how actual real live human beings speak? Yes, no, maybe so. What do you need to adjust? But taking this approach, I've called it many times before, this human first approach, remembering that you're a human being, communicating to another human being, will help bring more of that authenticity and more of that relationship building into your business. And the more that you can cultivate real, true, genuine relationships with your people, whether they are paying clients or just non-paying members of your community, it will come back to serve you well. Building really strong, genuine relationships will never be a waste of time. Maybe those people turn into paying clients, maybe they turn into referral partners, maybe they just become a really good friend and bring light into your world. Building true, genuine relationships will never be a waste of time. That's the mindset portion of it. The skill set portion of it, I actually find really exciting because if it's a skill set, it means that you can learn and you can improve upon it. So how do you practice? How do you improve relationship building? How do you improve having conversations with people? Again, going back to the example I shared, my client this morning was asking essentially how to pitch somebody something. That's building a relationship. That's having a conversation. And the number one hands down way to improve this skill is to practice, is to do more of it. Which maybe that makes you go, oh, I hate that. I don't want to do that. Networking sounds terrible. You don't have to do it in any way that's going to push your nervous system out of regulation. A little bit comfortably, right? But not something that's going to fully dysregulate you and make you completely useless for that entire time period. So one of the things that I do with my clients really often, I think I've actually done this with, I'd say probably 90% of my clients over the past 4 years, is role play. Actually go in and role play those conversations. Role play sales calls, role play your elevator pitch or how you talk about yourself. Practice writing out those emails and actually practice doing, right? Typing out, saying the words out loud, out of your brain, out loud, verbalize this into the ether, what it is you want to say. Because the more that you can get comfortable making the sale, making the offer, saying, hey, I would love if you would work with me. I would love to work with you. How can we get this started? Or, okay, my Instagram freaked out for a second, so hopefully I'm okay. If you are live with me and you can give me a thumbs up or something that you can hear my audio, that would be really helpful for me. I don't know what happened to my app just now. But the more that you can practice the skill set, the better you will become at it. So that's where I'm going to end this. This is something that, like I said, I really think a lot of online, digital, virtual-based businesses are lacking, which is why, thanks Artie, I appreciate it, which is why not as many business owners are making the money that they want and that they should be making as in past years or as is possible. It is completely possible that every single one of us makes bank. Like, I'm talking roll around in dollar bills bank. It is completely possible. There is no shortage of pie, right? But this is one of the skills that is blocking and holding so many business owners back because we look too often at business as transactional instead of remembering that we are human beings building relationships. So if you've got any questions, whether you're live or you are catching the replay, stick them in the comment box and I will reply. And if you want to ever practice any of these skills, practice how to have these conversations, send me a DM. Like I said, this is something that I do for pretty much every single one of my clients because we all have something that we need to practice on. I've got 3 open spots right now for one-on-one mentorship if you are interested. Any other questions, send me a note. Thanks.